Okay. I know. A couple minutes early. I've done this before. I'm just getting my prep work done. Thing about a stir fry is it does require a lot of prep work. Just as important. How's the sound? I seem to have been having some sound problems the last couple of weeks or so, where the sound seems to be going in and out. Does the sound sound okay? Does it seem like it's cutting out, or does it seem all right? As I can tell, the mute is not on. Okay, sounds good. All right, that's good. Yeah, again, I'm just finishing up my prep work for for tonight's stir fry. Just about done. I have the not ground beef. I have the beef marinating. And then from there, all right, as you can see, I'm just chopping up a bell pepper. And that will be just about it for the prep work because I prepared my other stuff already. I still don't see how people can put their fingers right up against the knife. I know for some of you folks, it's like second nature, but I'm afraid I am not one of those folks. Still, I do my best. Can I get out a bowl for that? I think I'm missing one bowl. And it'll have to be this one. All right. There we go. Get this in, and we will be on. All right. Actually, I think you'll want to see the meat. There we go. Hi there. Welcome, everybody, to Cast Iron Wednesday, a tradition that many YouTube cooking channels have been doing for, at least the past decade or more. Not necessarily all of us, although I've been doing this now on Wednesdays for about 4.5 years somehow. I've had to cancel or postpone it sometimes, but I try to be prompt on Wednesday when I can because, well, I enjoy seeing you folks here, and I enjoy having fun doing this, stuff on YouTube Live here. So thank you very much, as always, to everybody who has been kind enough to show up here on this Wednesday evening. Hello to Ronald Coward and Cynthia Wesley, Rocket Caver. Hello, Jen, MLV. What was that? That's like 55, I think. 777. Jack Q Boss. I'm seeing a lot of new names here. Welcome to the new folks here. Welcome to folks who I don't recognize here. And welcome to Rich Qualls and Cast Iron Fanatic and Hogwell Cast Iron Restoration and all the folks who I do recognize. Just thank you to everybody who's been kind enough to show up. Because today is Wok Wednesday once again. This is something that I've been trying to do on a regular monthly basis, although I know it's been interrupted for some things, such as the holidays, which are now over. So we are back to doing a Wok Wednesday here on the last Wednesday of the month, because that is, of course, something that is, well, gives us an excuse, an idea at least, of what to look forward to tonight. And it gives us an excuse to play with cast iron, like always. Hello to Kimberly Miller. Hope all is well. And yes, I hope all is well for all you folks too. And hello to Stevenson Jones and Honey J. Badger. And I got my mixer today. Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Okay. So anyway, yeah. Well, as I mentioned, yeah, we are doing another stir fry tonight, because there seems to be no end of stir fries. This one kind of caught my eye, even though it is not from China, sort of. It is from a YouTube channel who I've been following fairly regularly, Brian Lagerstrom, and I know a lot of you have heard his name by now. He has definitely become something of a YouTube cooking celebrity. A couple of weeks ago, he did this recipe for what he calls Mongolian beef that looked really good, and I don't see why we couldn't give that a try tonight, which is why I've started out according to his recipe. I have the link to his video and recipe for that here on the description of this YouTube channel. And the first thing he said is to marinate your beef, which is exactly what I have been doing. I put together a simple marinade of soy sauce. He says use Shaoxing cooking wine. I instead use rice vinegar. Hope that's not too much of a difference. Along with a little baking soda. And yeah, so with any luck, that should help to soften this beef here. The beef, in fact, is top sirloin. I've got about a pound of that marinating here. I should turn up the wok heat at this point. And that's the first step that he mentioned. I thought those were beets in the bowl. No, definitely that is not beets. It is meat. I use a lot of dark soy sauce in my stir fries, and so that's why it has a very, very dark coloring. But this is definitely meat. All right. This, on the other hand, is bell peppers, which we just finished chopping up. But now that we've done that, let me bring up that recipe right now. I mean, come on, where did it go? There it is. Okay, this is spare the beef, dredge after dredging. In fact, if I figure right, yeah, I'm going to actually. I made one slight goof, which I've got to fix right now, and that is the first thing we're actually going to be doing is a little bit of deep frying. Then we'll get down to wok frying. So that means we should turn over here to the Lodge cast iron wok. Bring the microphone over here. And this thing has already been heating up, but I'm supposed to add enough oil to this wok to do a little bit of deep frying. So, hey, that sounds good to me. It's been a while since I've done some deep frying. Or even if it's not deep frying, it's definitely frying. Of course, then I'm going to have to figure out how to get rid of some hot oil here, which I just realized. I know I've got a metal bowl here somewhere that'll help take care of that. Okay. So now, while this is heating up, this is peanut oil, by the way, which is a high smoke point oil. So we're doing pretty good there. Anyway, okay, getting back to the meat and getting my microphone back over here. All right, his recipe: prepare the vegetables, shake off. Okay, place about, and here's where, okay, now here's the part where I go to the next step, and that now that the beef has been marinating, I get to dredge it. And that means I've got some cornstarch here, and we are going to mix mix this into this cornstarch. So don't get this, oh, there we go. In it goes. Put this aside, I may need it again. And we've got to make sure that all of this beef is thoroughly coated in the cornstarch. All right. Hope I used enough cornstarch. He said about 1.5 cups. I don't think I used quite that much. Still not doesn't look like it's doing too badly. There we go. That's getting a little better here. He also mentioned shaking off the excess cornstarch. There's definitely still some underneath that I can coat it with. There we go. All right. I'd say our beef is most likely coated at this point. All right, as mentioned, this is, as always, a YouTube live where we regularly talk about cast iron, and folks are free to have their own conversations here in regards to cast iron if you'd like. As you saw, I've got the cast iron wok heating up on the stove top, and once the oil gets hot enough, then it looks like we will be able to do some frying. I'm still trying to get it all coated. Looks like it's mixed in fairly well. Okay. Okay, and ensuring each piece is lightly coated. Shake off excess using a colander or a salad spinner. Let the coated beef sit for 10 minutes to hydrate. Excuse me, sorry about that. Let me see. Prepare the vegetables, which I have done already. Grate or mince ginger and mixed garlic. Let me see. The mixed, it mentions here about a tablespoon of minced ginger, whereas we are doing about 25 grams of garlic. So let's mix a little bit of minced garlic in with this ginger. That should hopefully be about the last of the prep work. As I mentioned, that's one thing about stir fries. They do require a fair amount of prep work because it needs to be just about all done in advance. There we go. Ginger and garlic. Part of the holy trinity of stir fries, or at least Chinese stir fries. All right, getting back to the recipe. Grate or minced ginger and minced garlic. Keep separate. Slice scallions. We've got some scallion roots, the white part, and some scallion greens. And then from there, slice bell peppers into 1/4-inch strips, which, as you can see, that's exactly what I have done as well. I have also prepared the sauce. There is supposedly a wok sauce here. That is a mixture of soy sauce, brown sugar, beef stock, and a little bit of cornstarch, which we have right here. And once we do that, we are about ready. Now all we have to do is heat this until the oil gets to about 375 to 400 degrees. Okay, good. So now, once again, it is time for the cast iron. So let's get a nice good view here and move the microphone as well. Get a nice good view here of our cast iron wok. I just realized there's one thing I forgot. Gotta dig out my spider. I also don't want to trip over this cord. All right. If you do this kind of frying, a spider of this kind is really, really useful. I got this, I don't remember how many years ago. Maybe about somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago, I guess. And I got it dirt cheap, where else? At a Chinese restaurant supply store. And it is indeed quite useful for deep fries. Okay. Now, as mentioned, we've got to make sure that the temperature is about 365 already. Wow. That didn't take long at all, did it? Okay, 370. I'd say in a couple of more minutes we'll be able to do some stir frying. Not stir frying, deep frying. Nice. So that means, okay, fry beef in batches, cooking for 2 to 3 minutes per batch until crispy. Avoid touching beef during frying. Usually with this kind of deep frying, you're supposed to stir it around In this case, you are not supposed to stir it around. So I will have to make a note of that. Although it looks like I'm also going to have to put it into a tray to drain it off. So it looks like I have one more thing to dig out. Come on. There we go. And I haven't had an excuse to use this basket for a while, so I'm glad about that. That means we'll be able to put the beef in here. Okay. There we go. Have we made enough of a mess yet? Let's check that one more time. Oh my, 385. Okay, it's definitely time to fry. Okay, if at first you don't succeed, fry again. So, in we go. Obviously, I'm not going to dump this in the oil. That would be bad. It does mention that you are supposed to fry it in batches. So, there's one batch. All right, now that I've spread it out, I'm not going to touch it. Hopefully, the microphone will pick up the sound of the frying. All right, anyway, having done all this, hello, Wyoming Yeti. Hello from Wyoming. Been gone a while. Well, nice to see you back. Had a mouse infestation. Oh, in the winter. That must not have been fun. Hello, Jimmy Langford. Getting better. Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. Surgery's taking their toll. Oh, that sounds nasty. That's for sure. What are the three little pots by the oven? These are various tiny little cast iron pots. This one is a bare cast iron pot from Aldi. I use this for storing my Crisco that I use especially for greasing my pans after washing. These two ones here are tiny little enamel Dutch ovens that really don't have anything. They were gifts from my brother. Says we're only supposed to do it for like about 3 minutes or so. It certainly doesn't look like this is taking long either. Wow. All right. Crazy wind here in New Jersey. Yeah, the wind's been pretty intense here in New York, too. That's for sure. Okay, well, hello, Alley-oop, and welcome to Cast Iron Wednesday, then. That's, I guess, it's always good to see you, and of course, you can always watch the replays as well. But, yeah, this is an interesting one, as I said, from Brian Lagerstrom, and he's actually recommending that we do this in 2 parts. So I'm doing some deep frying on the meat, and then we'll do a traditional wok stir fry of everything else. Sounds good? Just gotta be careful, of course, not to get this hot oil all over the place. Unfortunately, oh yeah, okay, I know what to do about that. All right. Only supposed to take about 3 minutes. Yeah, I'd have to say, this looks like it is getting close to done already. Anyway, it's beef, so I don't need to do it to well done. Come on. There we go. And I do not want to splatter myself either. We have everything except this extra residue. All right. So far, so good. That means we will get to the next batch as soon as the temperature hits the right. As soon as the oil hits the right temperature once again. I mean, this has gone down to 305, 306. So we do need to wait maybe a couple of minutes, maybe a few minutes or so for the oil to get back to about 375. All right. Yeah, that pan is Magnolite. Yes, that's the Magnolite Dutch oven that I use quite a bit, in fact. And it just occurred to me that that Magnolite Dutch oven would not be a bad thing for storing this hot oil once I'm done with this deep frying. I will let it cool off overnight, and then I'll be able to dispose of it tomorrow morning. So, yeah. All right, I love deep fried chicken. Well, we're not having deep fried chicken. We are actually having deep fried beef. To be precise, the recipe said to get some flank steak, but I decided to get some top sirloin because, well, it was not nowhere near as expensive. And this week, in fact, Price Chopper was having a buy one get one offer on their flank on several kinds of their meats, including this sirloin. So that means, so that technically meant, I got them for half price. So that's not so bad. That means I have a lot more beef still in the refrigerator than I'm going to have to use in the next few days. I suppose I could always make beef stew. Why not? How big is the cauldron you use for jambalaya? That cauldron is a 15-gallon cauldron, although I have made jambalaya in my smaller pots as well, including my number 12 size Birmingham Stove and Range Dutch oven, which happens to be about 12 quarts in size. Yeah, the thing about jambalaya, of course, is that it's almost impossible not to make a lot of jambalaya, so you always seem to need a big pot for that. I prefer it over steak. Yeah, Mongolian beef. Yes, yes. Yeah. The funny thing is, Mongolian beef is one of those Americanized Chinese takeout type of things that really actually come from America. If you actually went to Mongolia, to the north of China, and ask about Mongolian beef, they would look at you like you were from another planet. So, but nonetheless, that's what they call it. They call it Mongolian beef, and that's what we are making at this moment. Check that temperature again. Oh yeah, it has gone up somewhat. It is now at 356. So I'd say in about another minute or so, we'll be able to do the next batch. Nice. All right. I have a 3 gallon on the way. I have a Savoy Phoenix, Savory Phoenix that's right at 10 gallons. Oh, both of those sound good. Yes. Um, Yeah, I've told the story of my cauldron quite a few times here on this live. So I'll just be brief in saying that it was one of those once in a lifetime bargains when I came across it. I mean, granted, I still ended up paying $200 for it, but still, that was the type of thing where I just knew to myself that if I didn't invest in it, I would be kicking myself for the rest of my life. And I just realized I will have had that pot for, I think it's 9 years as of now, as of this year. And 9 years later, I am most definitely not regretting investing in that big cauldron. So, 100 ways to wok your cast iron. Yes, exactly. 50 ways to leave your lover. Just slip out the back, Jack. And, okay, let's check that temperature once again. Okay, there we are, 375, 380. Means it is time for batch number 2. I'm not sure, but that might be all of it, in fact. So let's get this out right now. I do not want to splash this. And this looks like the last piece. Nice. All right. That means that takes care of our deep frying here. All I have left is the rest of this cornstarch. And it's only going to take a few minutes. This, meanwhile, is the cooked beef that is, settling down. It actually does have a coating. And he stated specifically, Brian stated in his recipe, again, when it is frying, this particular recipe, you are not supposed to touch it when it's frying. So you don't poke it and prod at it and try to take them apart. And so far, I'd say it looks like it's working too. New Jersey had 32-mile-per-hour gusts. It certainly, we had them here in New York too. That's for sure. This was one of those weird days as far as weather is concerned. In the space of one day, we had gale force winds. We had sunshine. We also had rain. We also had snow, like maybe about 5 minutes of whiteout or so. It is now currently snowing, although very lightly, and the temperature is dropping so that by tomorrow we will be back in the teens again. It got up to almost 40 degrees here today. So go figure. Gotta love these New York winters, I guess. 32 mile per hour gust a lot. We have like 100 here. Wow. I forget where you live again, Rhodey, YYC, but yeah, 32 mile or 40 mile gusts are still plenty here. I mean, the trees were definitely rocking back and forth, along with the street signs, the street lights. Fortunately, there wasn't any damage, at least not in my neighborhood. Daily thing here up to 50. Okay, yeah. I'm in the prairies of Canada. Oh yeah, well of course. show us for what we are. For us, it's kind of a lot. Very loud and unnerving. Yes, exactly. Wyoming has those winds a lot, 60 miles plus. Of course, you're up in the mountains too. Can't wait for spring so I can start cooking in my poiki. Oh yeah, Rocky Caver. That's definitely something to look forward to as well. My dad lived in Evanston, Wyoming. Where is ginger beef from? Well, right now, ginger beef is in my wok. And I'm going to be adding some ginger to this beef stir fry. Make sure that everything is fully cooked. Although, again, the nice thing about doing beef is it's okay if it's not well done. Mangchi makes some really good Korean recipes. I make a twice fried chicken. It's ridiculous good. All of this actually just makes me gives me more and more things I have to try making one of these days. Plus 48. I did cook in my large skillet. I like to call it Nanwich Sloppy Joe. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm thinking so too, Wyoming Yeti. I'm certainly not having any complaints so far about this deep fried marinated beef. And we're probably getting to the point now where this is just about done as well. At which point, I've got a real adventure here because I do not want to hurt myself. That consists of disposing of this hot oil. All right. However, first things second. Right now, let's make sure. Put this on my mic heater. It's time to gather up the beef. Where's the beef? Here's the beef. And this isn't looking too badly either. I don't want it to drip all over the place. Here's some. There's some more. No need trying to force it. And this should be the last of the beef. All right. We've got plenty of beef here for this stir fry, that's for sure. Yep, I'd say that is about all of it. Which means turn off the heat right now because this is hot, hot, hot. So again, I have to dispose of, or at least reserve, this hot oil, as I said, without killing myself. And I'm actually not joking this time. So let's move over here. Let's bring out the aluminum Dutch oven. And let's break out the gloves so that we don't take any chances. Okay. All right. Yeah, no. Doing this live is just such a smart idea because if I end up spilling this all over myself, obviously I'm going to have to call 911. In fact, in all seriousness, let me put my phone close to me. Obviously, I don't want that to happen, and I'm doing my best to be careful. So, move this away a little bit. There we go. I have a good grip on these. Carefully. Yay! Okay, this is still hot. I'm not going to say success until I put this down. All right. However, now I still have to get rid of that residue. So, but hopefully that's the worst of it. Because obviously I'm just simply not going to touch that until like tomorrow morning after it's completely cooled off. And hey, I think it's time to bring out the wok shovel for this stuff. All right. I hope that didn't seem overly dramatic. I mean, technically, I suppose, because this is YouTube and it's live, I should put on a show for you folks, but I was being completely honest there. I was doing everything I could not to hurt myself because, that's kind of important. There we go. All right. Yay. Takes care of that. All right, now time to put the wok back on, the heat back on, that is, because we need to heat this up now, and we're going to get to the next part of our stir fry. Okay, thank goodness it was not an emergency call. Oh, I see. So you happen to get a call just at this very moment. Oh, yeah, nice coincidence. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing okay too, Cynthia. Okay, now that we've done that, let me see if there are any comments that I may have missed here because I'm still have to heat up the wok. Oh yeah, and let me center this too. I could see it would be better. Thank you, folks who prefer it that way. So there we go. That's pretty good. All right, come on. There. Haha. Okay. Now I probably would have used a spoon, but you did it. Well, yeah, I decided the Dutch oven would be good because it had a nice wide space to pour it. So, much less chance of spilling it over the sides. We'll all dial 911 for you. Well, thank you very much. Unfortunately, that was not necessary. Pour away from yourself. Well, I think I had to do it that way because that was a heavy wok and I really had to keep it all under control. So it's not the same as something very light. Nonetheless, okay, if you like Korean food, I recommend her channel. Oh, yes, we said that part. Third degree burns. Yeah, no, neither do I want to see third degree burns. Ugh. Well, okay, I would just wipe that stuff out with a cotton kitchen cloth. Keep lots of small ones on hand. Yeah, that might not be a bad plan. Do I have maybe a paper towel? All right, that'll do. It's a Bounty, don't worry. It's a thick paper towel. Just do this quickly. There we go. All right, what's there to worry about? I'll put this Bounty far away from the fire. Okay, take a walk on the wild side. Yeah, we already have tonight. I've already put my life, or at least my safety, at risk. And hopefully, that is the worst risk I take in a long time. At least until the next time I flambe something. Some guy somewhere in New York spilled oil on himself. 911. What's the address? Look on his YouTube channel. You'll see it. Oh, yeah, that guy. Okay. All right. Fortunately, Cynthia, I believe we all missed the chaos. Thank goodness. At this point, we are just reheating the wok up until. Oh, please show us the trivet under that black little pot. Trivet. Oh, yes, this one you're talking about. Okay, here we are. The trivet is modern day Chinese made, so I really don't have any further details on it. But yeah, I like the design of it too. I have a small collection of trivets, most of which I got because I really like the design. So, that's what you get for having cast ironitis. I find myself, it's like collecting these silly little things. All right, quick, what's the number for 911? Yeah. It was rumored that after the September 11, 2001 attacks, future historians might think that we chose 911 as some kind of a memorial for that day, although we know that that number came first. Okay, 450. Oh, nice. We're almost there already. I'm going to wait until this thing clocks 500, which from the looks of it may only be in a couple of minutes. And then we'll be ready for the next step of our stir fry. Not doing too badly here. I'm fine with chaos. It's catastrophe I don't want to see. You and me both, Jamie Ledgerwood. You've got a very good description of what we want to see here on this channel. Some nights there's just too much chaos here for me already. Usually when I mess up. Just wiping up a little bit of extra oil there. Okay, which means now it's time to get down to the recipe. Remove the oil from the wok. Remove the oil from the wok and wipe out any leftover solids with paper towels. Check. Reheat wok over high heat until water sizzles upon contact. We're probably already at that point. Add a generous drizzle of peanut oil and dried chilies. Well, here's the thing. I decided not to use dried chilies. I'm just going to use some red pepper flakes. All right, so that means generous drizzle of oil, as it says. Nowhere near as much as the one we did with our last fry, about 20 minutes ago. But this should be enough. It's already starting to smoke too, so I think we are not doing too badly at all. Here is one thing that I do. Make sure it is spread around the sides of the pan. And as he says, let me check my steps here. All right, that is. Where was that? Generous drizzle of peanut oil and dried chilies. Fry for 30 seconds, and then we do the scallion and then the ginger and garlic. Okay, lower heat if necessary to be sure ginger and garlic don't burn, and then come the bell peppers, all of which sounds good. Okay, that means we've done this. Oh, yes. Start out with our chili flakes. Oh, I don't need to overdo it. Probably more than enough. All right, in fact, I don't want this to burn, so we had better get started. All right, that means now scallion whites. And here's where your stir fries are fast, especially if you're doing them in cast iron. Because that's the whole point of this large cast iron wok here. It holds in the heat so that you really can get some good heat in this thing and do a pretty decent and fast stir fry. Again, after the scallion whites, next comes the ginger and garlic. And we don't want to burn this. I also don't want to splash it using my finger because this is a small little container here. I don't think I could fit anything else in it. I mean about a mess. probably all we need, in fact. Now from here, onion whites, okay. Now for the bell peppers. Now we're getting somewhere. Ah, yes. Love doing stir fries. They're easy, they're fun, and it gives me an excuse to use my magic wand. I've told the story of this wok shovel before, namely that it was a Brimfield find, and it just feels so good to use this. That's why when I talk about I consider my cooking to be cooking magic, this is probably the closest thing I have to a magic wand. This and maybe my chef's knife, but I think probably this even more than anything else. I don't know, it just feels right. All right, now at this point, I guess we just do this until these start to soften, which probably will not take long at all. Presumably, this liquid should not be very much water because we haven't used very much water. If there is any water, it would be coming from these bell peppers. All right, getting on with the recipe here. Add bell peppers. Now here's where we start pouring the sauce around the edge of the wok. Okay, here's that sauce that I put together, which is a combination of soy sauce, brown sugar around the edge of the wok. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Still me getting over my cold. And we're supposed to do this until the sauce begins to thicken. Considering there is brown sugar in here, I expect this won't take long. In fact, I wasn't sure if I'd need all of that sauce, as you saw. There is still a little bit left over. This is not looking too badly. This is different, and now I am glad I chose this recipe because this is different from most of those other stir fries I've done. You know, your typical fried rice, beef and broccoli, chicken stir fries. This is a little different. We are really, it's like, as you can see, especially with the sauce, we're not really stir frying so much. We're going to be more like boiling it all together. I'm not considering that to be a bad thing because it's good. It means I'm trying something different, and I like that. Coughing hot peppers. Yes, exactly. That's for sure. I feel sad for anyone with peanut allergies. Me too, actually. I don't have a peanut allergy, and I'm glad I don't. But yes, people with peanut allergies, I do feel sad. They miss out on so much. And my condolences. Nonetheless, all right. Excuse me. Definitely feeling something that's making me cough here. And you can see the steam coming out of the sauce too. Okay. All right, not severe, bad enough. Okay, anyway, at this point, now, yeah, we're almost done as a matter of fact. At this point, all we really need to do is we'll put the beef back in and coat it. So yeah, this did not take long at all. There was a lot of prep work, as always, but like many stir fries, this is coming out very fast, which reminds me, I better get a bowl for when it's done. I just thought of that. Here's a good bowl. All right. Okay. Excuse me. There is something in there that's making me cough. Don't worry, nothing toxic. Yeah, I'd say this is actually starting to thicken all right. So we're not doing too badly. That means I guess it's time for the beef. And here's where we simply coat the beef. As I said, I used a very dark soy sauce. That's why this all looks so dark. I do have some Kikkomans in the cupboard. I don't use it very often, which is more of a light soy sauce. But hey, this is not taking long at all, and it does look like it is actually. As you can see, we're not getting that sauce. This is not a soup. This is definitely more of a, well, Mongolian beef. Look at that, shall we? That did not take long at all. We are only at about 8:45 here. Boy, that did not expect. I should have expected this to go fast. It is a stir fry, and it's a stir fry from a professional who I trust. I've made a number of Brian's recipes, and I don't think he's let me down yet. Which means, oh yeah, that's right. One last thing is, I'm supposed to, this point, add scallion greens and fold in. Yeah, I think this would be for color. Okay, so two things. Let me turn this off. Let's get a picture or two so that I can have a nice thumbnail for this this video. Again, this does not look bad at all. All right, which means this is not your typical beef and broccoli. Nothing about the recipe said broccoli. The picture I used was from an earlier stir fry. Rather, what we have here is, again, supposed to be Mongolian beef. And it just occurred to me now that I should have made some rice to go with it. You know, there's time. I've got some more to do yet in this video. I'd say making some rice probably wouldn't be a bad thing. However, first, let's get this out of the wok. And yeah, look how much there is. You know how big these salad bowls are? This is not bad at all. All right. Yeah, instead of this being a soup, I'd say Brian, once again, Brian Lagerstrom knew what he was doing, because this is definitely thickly coated in the sauce, and yet again, there's very little left in the wok. So this does not look bad at all. All right, we've done this. Okay, yeah. They neglected to tell me about it. Okay. I got a Zoshirushi at Goodwill. Only way I make it now, Super Machine. Oh, yeah. I think Kikkoman is a sweet Japanese soy. Feel better, Mr. Oop. Yes, be good, Ali Oop. I hope you are feeling okay. Something about weed in the comments here. My son-in-law asked me to help with homemade tomato sauce in the kitchen. Big pot. The large dehydrator was next to it and running. No open windows. Inside the dehydrator was weed. Okay, I won't say any more there. Smoke is more fun than the mustard pack my grandma used to put on me when I had a cold. Ouch. Boil a bag rice for 10 minutes. We could do that, or we could do it the traditional way. Especially since, again, I've got a little bit of time. Let me see. That means I've got a couple of things I need to get here. I always make this big mess here in the kitchen whenever I do these. Oh well, this will just add to it. Because that means get to make rice the way that I have only recently learned. So, maybe, I wonder if I can even make the rice in this pot. In this wok, I mean. You know, I bet that would work. Okay, so let's try this and see how it turns out. Which means first, let me get. Okay, I need my strainer. Excuse me again. I also need a cup. And, you know, I've only recently learned, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to use a measuring cup. Rather, I'm going to do this, as I said, I've only recently learned this method for cooking rice. Let's see what we think. That looks like I'm going to be making this rice with Mickey. And yeah, vintage Mickey Mouse cup, in fact. I inherited it from my grandmother. She got it at Disneyland in, I don't know, early 70s, I think. Anyway, 1 second, I just have to get the rice. All right. We are using jasmine rice tonight. Now, the trick I have learned, there are so many tricks to cooking rice, and this is mine. Well, I learned it. I didn't invent it. Is that you need to you do your rice and your water with the same cup. 2 of these cups of rice, regardless of how big the cup is. That's why I'm not using a measuring cup. 2 of these cups of rice, and then after you've washed the rice, you add 3 of the same cup of water. And it's as easy as that. So, okay, well, now I'm starting to regret using old Mickey here. Shit. Okay, hope I don't spill him. I'm gonna spill it, aren't I? Okay. All right, anyway, then I need a smaller, shit. So much for Mickey, I guess. Let me dig out the measuring cup I usually use, which is my 3/4 cup. Unfortunately, Mickey was just too big for that container. But as I've recently learned, you don't need to use a measuring cup. You just need to use the same cup. So in this case, I'm going to do 2 cups of rice. I know this is a 3/4 cup. That's what I mean. So we're going to have 1.5 cups of rice. 1 and 2. This is jasmine rice. Now from here, we need to wash the rice. And unfortunately, I've got a lot of junk in the sink because I've been doing this, because I was making all this stuff tonight. So I'll just have to be a little careful here. Fortunately, this is not even going to touch the rice. So let me move the microphone a little closer. And let's start washing the rice. What I'm doing right now is not exactly traditional. Most folks, you just run the rice through water until it is washed out. However, I kind of came up with this method, especially in order to save water. Save that. And we start washing the rice for the first time. I do this like maybe about 8 to 10 times. The milk is, the water is very cloudy. Dump it and do it a second time. This is why I can do this in this dirty sink. As you can see, it's not touching any of those dirty dishes. Doing it this way conserves at least some water. As you see, I'm using the same water here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And my understanding is, even with those rice cookers, you still have to wash the rice in advance. So there's really not much of a difference here, is there? Here comes number 3, and then 4 will be the last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The water is getting clearer. And now for the last time. That was smart. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And our rice is washed. Bam. Which means now we're going to head over to our rice cooker, which in this case is just going to happen to be that very same wok. Why? Because why not? I'm curious to see how well this turns out. Just about no sticking. All right, because now that we've done that, we are now going to add water. And here's where I said use the same cup. In this case, because the Mickey cup didn't fit, I had to use this. But I'm using the same 3/4 cup. I'm going to use 3 cups of water. 2 and 3. 1. I've never made rice in a wok before. This is a first time for me. 2. And 3. And now with this, the next step is turn on the heat. And I usually do it a little bit above medium. And we are going to bring the rice to a boil in an uncovered pan. Yes, I repeat, an uncovered pan. I think if I move this over a little bit, this wok is still hot. All right. And we're going to do this until the rice comes to a boil. Okay. Where'd that cover go? There it is, so I don't knock the extra rice all over the place. Give me 1 second. I need to get a cover that I'll be using for this, and then I'll be able to have an actual conversation with all you fine folks. 1 second. And here's the cover that I will be using, a wok cover. Okay. Now, since we're waiting for this rice to come to a boil, I can relax a little bit and spend a little time here. So thank you, everybody, for patience as I've been talking and talking and talking. I really haven't had much time here. Okay. Do you have an old-fashioned rice pudding recipe? I hope Val's does. I have a rice pudding recipe, one that I like a lot. It uses a lot of raisins. Restaurant called Lascari's in Lewiston, Pennsylvania makes the best rice pudding. Ooh, that all sounds good too. I like double sinks, Wyoming Yeti, but not the kind that sit under the counter surface. Yes, I kind of agree there. I think I would have preferred one large sink, but unfortunately, that did not come with this kitchen. So I will just have to live with it. 2 blonde women was on their way to Disneyland. When they go there, the street sign said Disney left, so they turned around and went home. Put Mickey up, I think about old stuff that breaks. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Tricks to cooking rice depends on the type of rice. Well, there is that too, Azalea. And as with many ways, I am not a professional in any way. However, this is a method of cooking rice that I've found to be rather successful. In this case, of course, I'm cooking this rice in the greasy residue from cooking that stir fry. So this rice is going to be flavored even as it cooks. So this is not going to be a pure white rice, but hopefully it'll help with the taste of the rice. I suck at cooking rice. Well, yeah, basic rice cooking I found is actually very easy. And I hope I'm demonstrating that right now. Well, notice warning, you'll need to chase this meal with ice cream. I guess you're still talking about the rice pudding. Oh yeah, JIR won it. Yes, JIR finishes. He won the contest, and I shipped out the griddle to him just yesterday. So it is in the mail and it is on its way to him. Allegedly, thanks to the U.S. Post Office, it is supposed to arrive at his place by Friday. All right. Dust and extra starch gets washed off. Yeah, my hope is by making this rice in the same pot, this will help to clean it up as well after the stir fry. But anyway, in regards to cooking rice, as I said, I have found it to be very easy, which is why I still don't have a rice cooker. Rice cooker, they're cheap too. Set it and forget it. Well, that's the thing for M. Morris family. First of all, I like doing this rice this way. It does not take long. Um, and as I said, my understanding is, and please somebody correct me, someone who has a rice cooker, please correct me on this, but I believe you still have to wash your rice even when you use a rice cooker. You still have to wash it before you put it in the rice cooker. They cut you every which way but loose. Ooh. I like to fry rice in oil first and add stock a little at a time. Well, that's one way to do it. I mean, there are like 1,000 different ways to cook rice. Better knock that rice into the water or it will be crunchy. As a matter of fact, it is completely covered. It is completely covered, even this end here. I don't think the light shows it very well. So none of this rice is exposed. My wife is Japanese. I eat white rice every night. Rice cooker is the way to go. You rinse it 3 times. Yes, exactly. I probably could have rinsed mine 3 times. This is not taking long to come to a boil either. But this is my first time making rice in this wok. I'm not sure if it will turn out as well as I hope, and I hope it turns out well. I make rice almost every day in that Magnalite Dutch oven, the one that I've just poured that hot extra oil into. So I'm going to have to discard the oil tomorrow and wash that out thoroughly before I can cook in it again. Why do they say rice has arsenic? Um, Apparently, rice does have a slight residue of arsenic, and that's one reason why you always need to wash your rice. I'm not sure if it has to do with our modern society or if, in fact, that is the way that rice is. But apparently, yes, it is true that that rice can have arsenic in it. But there is stray rice up above the water. Oh, these parts here. Yeah. Oh, I see. That's the parts you're talking about. All right. Then let's get these in there. And it looks like it's starting to boil right now, too. There we go. That should take care of everybody with OCD. However, it does look like the rice is boiling. So that means, excuse me, that means now we cover the rice. Nice fit. Turn the burner down to low. And now we wait for 12 minutes. It currently says 9 o'clock on the stove clock, which means at 9:12 we turn off the burner and also move this wok off of the heat. Then at 9:22 the rice will be done, and just in time too. All right. Honey, try a little less water and 15 minutes for the boil, 5 to absorb. Anyway, but yeah, that's the point is now that I have it at this point, in 22 minutes, that's 12 minutes to boil the rice on a low, and then 10 minutes to just let it steam. In 22 minutes, 21 minutes, the rice will be done. So how long did it take for that cast iron wok to bring that water to a boil? What would you say? I couldn't know. I'm not sure if it was 5 minutes, but it was less than 10 minutes. So all told, this is still 30-minute rice. And we're not talking minute rice. We're not talking boil in a bag rice. It's still rice from Just that, from raw to cooked in 30 minutes. Long grain wild rice. This is jasmine rice here. Minute rice has never let me down. I loved minute rice. In my previous life, before I learned how to cook, I ate a lot of minute rice. I never did do boil in a bag rice. But the thing is, pound for pound, minute rice is expensive. Everything's getting expensive these days. But it is much cheaper to go and get a nice big 20 or 25-pound bag of rice and then just make it. It's a lot cheaper than how much does a box of minute rice cost these days? $3, $4? And that's for probably 1 pound of minute rice, maybe less. So yeah, rice is right. Oh, rice is nice. Yeah, no, rice is not rice because there are many kinds of rice. I'm doing jasmine rice. I also regularly keep basmati rice here. I've been told to try Calrose rice, and I haven't done that yet. That's yet another thing I'm going to have to try. And JR finishes. I've started rinsing my rice. Well, thank you. I'm glad to have helped. That honestly, things like that I hear, that's about the nicest compliment you can give. And thank you very, very much. All right. And hello, JR finishes. That looks like a Mama Fung wok lid. Very nice. This wok lid, I've told the story of my wok enough times, that I acquired it from Amazon in January of 2011 when I was a newbie and I wanted to do everything. And at that time, I went onto the internet and went to a website called the Wok Shop. And that was where I ordered this wok lid. It was also there that I learned the proper lid for a wok is about 1 inch smaller than the diameter of the actual wok. So this is a 14-inch wok. I think this is like a 13-inch wok cover. It is supposed to sit below the rim of the wok, not on the rim. So as far as I know, this is the correct way to cover a wok. I like some good Spanish rice with Tex-Mex dinners. Oh, I've made Spanish rice, yes. And I've made arroz con leche and what's the one with pigeon peas? Ugh, arroz con gandules. That's it. All right. Cheapest way to get rice: take a broom and dustpan to a wedding. Brum, psh. Whole chicken and raw rice in a pot. Yes, my chicken and rice video. That was one of the first recipes I came up with myself when I was learning how to cook in cast iron. Because it's so easy, it's hardly original, but I still enjoy doing it because it is so easy. It is really a no-brainer. That's the type of thing you can feed the whole family with on a work night when everybody is tired and you don't want to spend $50 on takeout. I've also said enough times, this particular wok here is the Lodge Pro Logic wok. That one that they have technically discontinued because they've discontinued their Pro Logic series. Pro Logic, sorry, my throat's a little dry. Anyway, Lodge Cast Iron and their Pro Logic series, they produced a series of cast iron pans that were everything had rounded corners. There were no edges, no sharp edges anywhere on any of those pans. Some of those Pro Logic pans were good. Some of them were not so good. The Pro Logic wok in particular was one of the more popular Pro Logic pans from Lodge. But a few years ago, they finally did discontinue the Pro Logic series. However, they continue to produce their 14-inch wok because it's so popular. Now, instead of these rounded handles, they are using the standard handles that you see on everything from Lodge, on their skillets, on their sportsman grill, on their bunt pans. It's kind of like a standard Lodge handle, and they have it on the wok as well. And I have been using this wok faithfully since January of 2011. So this month is indeed the 14th anniversary of my getting this wok. I celebrated that a little earlier this month with a stir fry. Hmm. All right. Yes. I don't want that, Corey. I promise it literally don't taste the same. Oh, Finger Lakes West or more West. Okay. Rice and duck sauce, like candy. Oh yeah, yeah. Duck sauce is one of those things I want to make. I really, I never think of having duck sauce on hand for things like this. I like short grain sticky rice, but it's kind of hard to find. Yes, it is actually. I mean, yeah, and so if you go to your usual places like Walmart or Price Chopper or the like, it can be expensive, unfortunately. Um, for specialized kinds of rice, I would definitely recommend going to an ethnic store, whether it's a Chinese market, excuse me, again, or an Indian market. The ones where they have like about 10,000 different varieties of rice. It will almost certainly cost less than what you can get at Wally World. And again, the variety is much better. Doesn't taste the same. They stripped something from it. Oh, I'm missing this conversation here. Sorry about that. Um, okay. Anyway, what did I say? I said 9:12. That's right. It is now 9:08. So in 4 minutes, I will simply turn off the heat. Ben's versus real rice. Somewhere between the falls and Buffalo. Oh, that's where you are. Then I guess. I'm sorry about this, folks. It's like my throat is dry here. I need to take a swallow of something. All right. Can you smell the rice as it has only 4 minutes to go? Well, um, not yet, because this is only the first stage. It is not it's not finished cooking at this point. In that after the when the time when the clock hits 9:12 and 3 minutes, I'm only going to turn off the heat. I am not going to uncover the rice yet, and then we will go from there. After that, I'm going to let it sit for another 10 minutes, and then the rice should be done. Okay. Speaking of instant and things from the past, does anyone remember the old fashioned boil in the bag TV dinners from the 70s? I don't remember boil in the bag TV dinners, but I do remember those Swanson TV dinners that were so overrated. Yes, I ate them regularly too, but my mind is clouded by nostalgia. Okay, excuse me one second. I have to get something to quickly to drink. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Much better, I think. Okay. Wow, I was out there 2 years ago. My mom is from Penyan. Spent summers there growing up. Got married in Cayuga, a beautiful country out there. Banquet had better TV dinners. Oh yeah, I must have missed the boil in a bag TV dinners. I don't remember them at all. As I said, all I remember are those Swanson TV dinners that came in the foil packs. The ones that had like about 1.5 pieces of chicken, this little mashed potatoes, and of course, everybody remembers the apple pie that was essentially boiling lava. You ate the apple pie first; it completely burned the inside of your mouth and destroyed your taste buds. The apple pie in the Swanson TV dinner was the best. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And after it has burned your entire mouth and destroyed your taste buds, then the rest of it tastes good. The tasteless corn that nobody really ate. And as I mentioned, the chicken and the mashed potatoes. So yeah, the brownie was the best. The chocolate fudge cake was the same, like lava. Apollo 13 dinner. Mrs. Calendar's is the best. Coughing up hairballs. Well, yeah, I. That's why I had to get a mouth. I just had to get a swallow of something. My definitely my throat was too dry, and fortunately, it was not hairballs, and also fortunately, Miss Mobley, my cat, I rarely hear her coughing up hairballs. Usually when you're woken up at like about 2 o'clock in the morning because you hear the cat with the hawk 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 sound. Uh, she does not do that very often, so hopefully that's a sign she's in good health. The brownies and the hungry man dinner is great. That's that pepper. All right, they thought microwaves were dangerous. Oh yeah. Well, you can get on and on with all of those conspiracy theories about microwaves being dangerous and MSG being dangerous and saccharin being dangerous. As far as I know, the reason why they took saccharin off of the market was not because it was dangerous, but because NutraSweet came along and essentially drove saccharin out of business because, well, NutraSweet tastes better. So, and speaking of tasting better, if nothing else, I think I might try at least one piece of this beef just to see how it is. Yeah. My fork went right into it. It is not, it definitely is not dried out. So let's give it a try and see how it's like. Mm, mm, nice. Mm. It does not have an overly, what's the word, sour or savory taste. There's actually some sweetness to it. And I can definitely feel some heat, probably because of all those chili flakes I put in. Mm. So not bad at all. And because I did use sirloin, top sirloin, it is definitely chewy, but it is not tough and chewy. It was not that difficult to chew, so that's not bad. The chopsticks ready. Well, yeah, that's why we're doing the rice because you got to have rice to go with this. Oh, I'm late. It's 9:14. Let's turn off the heat. All right, and then at this point, it's only a matter of letting it sit until 9:22. And here's hoping that we have some decent rice. As I said, this is my first time cooking rice in a wok. I mean, granted, I would have to think that there should not be a problem with cooking rice in a wok, but I'm about to find out. Microwaves cook food, they absolutely are dangerous, but the grid on the window keeps it from getting out. Well, yeah, there is that. I mean, microwaves are dangerous, yes, but not the kind of danger that they were talking about. Never microwave your food or you'll get cancer. Never eat saccharin because you'll get cancer. Never eat MSG or you'll get cancer. You get the idea. Basically, everything gives you cancer. And on the other hand, it seems like everything cures cancer. So, what's the point? I mean, if they're just all going to cancel each other out, then who cares? Right. Anyone ever done a hard boiled egg in a microwave in a shell? I have not. Do you know how to make egg roll? I have made egg roll in a bowl. Um, and a couple of times I have indeed, yeah, I have indeed done traditional egg rolls, and I've also done fried egg rolls. They both, if I remember right, they turned out pretty good too. It's been a while. I should probably consider that, or maybe I put a reminder or something next week, next month on Wok Wednesday. Maybe we should look into doing egg rolls. I just pushed the egg. Oh, okay, I missed it. You got me. Do you like Critel gel honey? I've never heard of that one actually. Egg roll, yes. Okay, but yeah, okay. Well, hey, maybe despite the joke, maybe we will do egg rolls next month. That'll certainly give us something to do. Next month is February, of course, which means, well, the first half of the month anyway, It's like everything is going to be themed towards Valentine's Day. Why not? And then after that, we're going to get into March when everything is going to be themed towards St. Patrick's Day. And I'm actually looking forward to that. I love making homemade corned beef. But I'd say then between Valentine's Day and the beginning of March, we'll have at least a couple of weeks to do pretty much whatever we want. So maybe, yeah, that might be a good time to make some egg rolls. Um, then through March, well, once St. Patrick's Day has passed, in my case, I've got a couple of ideas for April Fool's Day. Oh yeah, and then of course there's that other holiday coming up. You know, the one with the bunnies and the rabbits and the resurrection and all of that. So yeah, so we're still in a busy time as far as food is concerned. Use chicken hearts in the egg rolls, like a gizzard's burrito. Well, that doesn't sound bad. I like chicken hearts. Wok would make good uh, halushki. I don't even know what that is, and I'm gonna have to find out now. Microwaves are the same as radio waves, same as your radio, phone, etc. Maybe that's why the conspiracy theorists also say that that we're going to get cancer from our cell phones, and heaven forbid keeping your cell phone in your front pocket right next to your family jewels. You haven't made fortune cookies yet. No, I have not. So many things yet that we have to make. Fortune cookies also sound good. Oh, you know what I have made, but it's been years? Cannoli. Man, that thought just came to mind. I made cannoli right after my 50th birthday, right after that trip to New York, and I did it in a cast iron Dutch oven. In fact, that may be a project I think maybe to come up with in the next couple of weeks, especially since we are getting close towards to Valentine's Day. Year of the Snake. I wonder if Lodge is going to do another Year of the Snake Pan this year, the way they did the Year of the Dragon. I'm not sure I would go out of my way to get one. But nonetheless, oh, spiral potatoes. Yes, spiral potatoes. I know, I know. Well, at least it's 9:20 and only 2 minutes to go to see whether this rice is done or not. If you look at the warning for your phone, it actually tells you not to keep it close to your skin. Well, there is that. Of course, on the other hand, we do keep our phones in a case. So normally we really don't keep it close to our skin very often, especially in my case. I use an ugly, nerdy phone case for my phone, in fact. You know, the kind that basically says that I've never had sex. I learned the proper way to eat an egg roll. What is the proper way to eat an egg roll? Am I setting myself up for yet another joke, I wonder? Are you going to make bunny chow for Easter? Well, that doesn't sound bad. I love bunny chow. So yeah, why not? Although bunny chow actually does not have any bunnies in it. Unless I actually added bunnies to it, who knows? Like a baked potato. Fried cabbage, onions, noodles, and bacon. And there you go. You got egg roll in a bowl. Never heard of bunny chow. You've never heard of bunny chow, Huggy Bear? Okay, once we're done, go and look it up. It's like this. It is a street food from South Africa that has become very, very popular there. And I tried it myself, and I thought it was great. So it is definitely, definitely worth trying. In fact, it's usually made with chicken or lamb. It bunny. The reason why they call it bunny chow is that's actually has to do with the local language describing the people who make them. Look it up, and you'll see the history. But it's definitely worth it. Oh yes, we are getting close to that time to use the lamb mold as well. That's also true. One more minute, and then we'll check on the rice. I've and Oh yeah, I've made lamb cakes in my lamb mold. One thing I have not done is decorated those lamb cakes because cake decoration is definitely something I suck at. And I could always demonstrate it, but who knows? I just heard something on my phone. Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. just saying good night and rest well. I think I will do that as well. Just send her a notice, and then it'll be time to check the rice. And good night to you as well, comma, I'll see you tomorrow. All right, with that, it is 9:22. So here's the make or break moment, because now we fluff the rice. Let's see how it turned out. Wooden handle. And again, remember, I made this with all of the residue from that stir fry. That's why there is color in this. But look at this. I do believe we have rice, even on the edges. So there we go. That actually was not hard to make at all. We now have rice to go with our stir fry. I have made rice in a wok. Yay! A new accomplishment. Not much of an accomplishment, but definitely an accomplishment. Which means I better try some of this, especially since it has that residue from the stir fry. I think I'm going to have to try some. All right, let's see how it tastes. It's hot. There's really not much aftertaste to it. Not much taste from the stir fry. So it tastes like rice. In that case, I would have to say we are successful. All right. Hello, VL Triple X. Well, we are just about finished, yes, but we've had a good night here. We've made a stir fry, and we have just made some rice to go with the stir fry. All right. I don't think I'll live to see my next Chinese zodiac birthday. I think the rice came out very good. I mean, it is definitely not in clumps, as you can see. Yeah, you're supposed to fluff it, and that's exactly what we've done. And once again, this is jasmine rice, so not bad at all. All right, one more fork of this. Mm-hmm. And that's how easy it is to cook rice. All right. And having said that, I do believe we have set out everything we accomplished to do here on Wok Wednesday. This stir fry turned out pretty good. I did not end up. Here we go again. I did not end up with a soup of my stir fry. It all coated the beef very nicely. The beef was chewy. That's inevitable, but it was definitely not tough or dry, so that's good. And then after that, well, as you can see, we have made some rice. Not bad. I do feel like we've accomplished something tonight. And yeah, VL Triple X, I immediately think adding soy sauce would be appropriate. And you're probably right, actually. But I think I'm going to just simply put this in a container in the fridge, like you're supposed to do with rice. And then that way I'll be able to serve it to guests tomorrow, because I am going to be having guests tomorrow. I can serve them the stir fry and rice. All right. Well, thank you very much, Wyoming Yeti. Some of these nights, as you know, my cooking has been less than exceptional. Tonight, I would not call it exceptional, but I think it turned out good. There were no disasters, thank goodness. Not even when I risked my life or my safety pouring hot oil out of that wok into the pan, into the. Oh, good. This is cooled off too. In fact, let me show you that. That's the last thing I think we'll do. Bring this down. Here is the oil residue in the Magnolite Dutch oven. It's all cooled off, which means, not tonight, but tomorrow. Which means tomorrow I'm going to get an extra bottle out of the recycle bin and just pour that oil into it and throw it in the trash. And then from there, well, just get some soap and wash out the pot, and it'll be ready for another run. Okay, and cast iron honey badger. I didn't see the final results. I'll rewind at the end. Okay, how much are you people paying for 12 eggs? $5.49 here. I forget. I'm gonna have to check and see how much eggs are at this time or not. I'm a little curious as to why people keep using eggs as a standard for how prices are going up or down. And unfortunately, yes, they are going up. But that's a subject for another time because we've already argued about that enough. We'll stick right now with this with the stir fry. Don't throw out the oil, save it, and start your camping fires. Well, I'm in the middle of the city here. There's not much camping at this time in January, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's actually a good thing to do. You can use it as a fire starter. And thank you as well, Val's Black Cat's Rules, for coming into my kitchen once again. And thank you. Used oil is good for making soap. That's also true, Azalea. And Wyoming Yeti, have to go and have a good evening. And you too. And as well to Doetti Man. I can't pronounce it. And Brian Gilcrease and Greg Hard. No CICs were harmed. Fortunately not. No. And so that in itself means that this evening was a success. And thank you to Cynthia Wesley and Radagast. Put the pan outside and let the trash pandas clean it out. And Veal XXX, free eggs from a brother. Well, that's good. And Granny Graham, hello, and have a good night as well. And Ronald Coward, thank you to everybody. And Hog Wild Caster and Restoration, 3 something here. Oh, yeah, but wasn't a shortage because of some sickness? Well, I don't know. We can always discuss it in another time. And hello, JIR Finishes, and thank you for a nice show. And well, thank you as well. Yeah, that's one. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you folks really want to pay a compliment, well, try some of the recipes I've made and see if you like them. Because on one hand, you might not like them, and on the other hand, you might make them better than I do, which is probably not that hard. In which case, then you'll certainly enjoy it. So, yeah, give it a try and see what you think. And yeah, I'll be doing the brownie meme in a glass. Wagner ware cornstick pan. Oh, huh, that's interesting. I'll have to look at that. Yeah, glass Wagner cornstick pan. I definitely will want to tune in for that. Big eggs because it is dramatic. Thousands and thousands of chicken have had to be killed. Oh yeah, because of bird flu. Well, there is that. Yes, and flu going around. Wash your hands, which is exactly what I'm gonna do before I go to bed in a few minutes. Anyway, I've told everyone who asked what I want for Christmas, and I say ethnic seasonings. Yeah, that's not a bad thing to ask for Christmas either. But okay, I'd say it's time to get going now. But thank you very much to everybody because, yes, indeed, these live Wednesdays are a lot of fun. And the reason why they're a lot of fun is because you folks are here cheering me on and making fun of my mistakes, of which are many. And I encourage you to do that. I don't have a problem with that because, hey, it's a learning experience. I mean, that's the best I could say. I mean, like, for instance, tonight, I didn't give myself a third-degree burn, so I consider that a thumbs up. And so thank you all for being witness to my not burning myself. And thank you again to everybody. And thank you for being here. And I can only hope that I've done my best to entertain you because we're all going to do it all over again next week. Next week is the first Wednesday of the month of February, which means it's time once again for the cast iron Q&A, Ask Me Almost Anything discussion, where we get to talk a lot about cast iron and hopefully we'll learn something. So let's get ready, okay? Hey, hey, hey! It's time now to head to bed. And so, as a result, I will leave you with what I say every time. See you next Wednesday.